Hello, welcome to How to Play Jemima Puddle Duck, a game for two or more players. This game comes from Paget.com under the Invented section. It's a perfect family game to teach kids how to play cards, and it's a very simple children's rummy game that I think anybody can actually enjoy. Now, some of the rules themselves were a little confusing. Originally, the rules said deal four cards, then everybody takes an extra card and looks at the cards and displays one, and whoever had the lowest card goes first. Didn't really stipulate what to do in a tie, so I say in the event of a tie, we'll play aces or low. Whoever had the highest card goes. And if it's yeah, I think that would probably work. And if it's still a tie after that, um, I would say go in the bridge order, spades leading, being the highest, and then followed by hearts, and then diamonds, and then clubs being the latest for a tiebreaker. So basically, everybody's looking at their cards, and they have one of two options. They can either take the entire stack, and they first must drop one, and then either take the entire stack, or take the top card of the draw pile, like any rummy game, really. And what you're essentially trying to do is you're trying to create complete sets, so there'll be four cards of the same rank. So four kings, four threes, four twos, basically all the twos, all the threes, all the aces. And upon the next turn, once you do have a complete book, you're allowed to lay them down. The object of the game, of course, being to be the first player to have less than four cards. Now, I think it's a better situation to play it until all of the cards can be out of your hand. And so this makes the time leading up to when the draw deck draws down completely to zero a better scenario to where you're trying to get rid of all the cards, because then if you have matched pairs, you're allowed to eliminate both of them at a time instead of having to wait to get another book. So essentially that's what's going on. If you do want a card that's in the discard and you're allowed to thumb through it, you must take all of the discard. If you don't want that entire discard, then you can just ignore it. Now, if you do have triplets of a card set, if you do have doubles, you're allowed to put both of them down, and then you're allowed to take that many cards from the draw pile that you discarded. So if you discard two cards, you're allowed to take two cards from the draw pile. If you discard three, you're allowed to take three cards from the draw pile. And if there's only one card available in the discard pile, just to house rule this to make it make more sense, and you do discard a pair of doubles or a triples, you're allowed to take that one card and then the rest of the cards from the draw pile. The aim being to get that draw pile all the way down to zero, because once it's at zero, you're no longer making the decision to draw the entire discard pile. At that point, you're trying to discard pairs and triplets and whatever quadruple sets that you have to be laid down, because you're trying to get down to zero. You're trying to get down to no more cards left. That way, the first player to do it wins the game. So there we just saw a discarded double, so he brought up two cards from the draw pile. And so once one of these players gets an actual book, you'll see them lay it down. It's a pretty simple rummy game without having to worry about values, without having to worry about forming other types of melds, just the set. The easiest meld in rummy to understand a complete set. You know, there's four suits in the card deck, and okay, there's our first book. We have a book of fives that was laid down. Now we must discard a card and either pick up the entire stack, which just happens, or discard a number of cards and take that equal number from the draw pile. So playing this as somebody who understands card games, every character playing in this set was pretty much what any grown adult would do as far as strategy. They're trying to keep as many triples in hand, and whatever odd cards they have, discard those, because the end game is going to come pretty soon, and they want to be in a position where they can get rid of all their cards. Now, there is no specific scoring in this. It's a simple whoever gets rid of their cards first wins type scenario. So now we have a booking of 7, so that 7 book is done. Now we're finding an odd card to get rid of. So if you actually wanted to score this, create this to a game to where you actually do score points, I guess you could score the values for the cards left over. That might mean that kings and queens get discarded sooner, and it plays like an actual rummy game and less like a children's game. But you know what? Most children's games are pretty much card games adults can play. It's just a matter of how complex you want to make it. So this is the simplest form. So now we got a booking of queens that has occurred. So now we're thinking about, are we going to take that king? Yep, they're going to take the king, and it's next player's turn. So like similar to Yanav, you discard first and then take cards, but it's not a shedding game. Because if you discard 3 in Yanav, you're only picking up 1. This game, you're picking up equal amounts of cards. So if you are discarding triplets, it's because you're trying to get a book for the next turn in your order. So now we see a book of kings. Now we're throwing down a pair of 2s. We're taking both cards. Now the draw pile is out. So now everybody's going to try to discard whatever cards they have. So we had a booking and we had 1 card left. Player on the east discarded it and he wins. So like always, if you actually want to play some card games in public, including this one, come to Card Game Meetups. That's our subreddit. We also, in the YouTube directory in the description, we have a link to a Discord channel that talks about card games, board games, dice games, so it's a lot of fun. Do visit these other card game channels and let them know that you love their games, and do subscribe to them. There's a lot of content on there. There's never been a better time to start playing card games. If you didn't grow up playing card games, there's never a better time to learn. This is actually very fun stuff. It's fun to have that knowledge of we all know the game. And last and not least, I want to thank our musician, Shauna Alderson, today. Visit her channel. She has some excellent original content, not just instrumental, but actual sung songs with the human voice, her wonderful voice. So do check her out. Great channel. Do like and subscribe, and I'll see you next video.